I love bees. 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 Bees. I love bees.
After Jan pulverizes wannabe gangster rapist Jean, Finn gets pissed off. He responds the way most pissed off gang leaders do. Extreme violence to make an example. He kidnaps Jan and connects her to a torture device called the Cupid's knife. The knife is designed to brainwash her into loving Finn by reading her emotions and causing her pain whenever she feels any negative emotions towards Finn. This is another case of Finn's villainy being associated with violence against women. It isn't clear if he's a misogynist or just a sociopath who happens to be a heterosexual man, but it doesn't really matter because he still fits the evil patriarch figure. Normally, protagonist Jan's power provides a feminist subversion, but now she's the damsel in distress receiving mind rape treatment not unlike Cortana in Halo 3. However, because she's normally a strong fighter, and will be a strong fighter again, I think this fits into the subtrope badass in distress. She just happened to be overpowered in this adventure, but she's still got her dignity as Halo's superhero, unlike Monica from Heroes, who gets turned into a damsel in distress on her first mission, and then never again has another one. In I Love Bees, she gets into trouble now, but she'll get her strength back later. James Squared arrives to rescue her, but he gets overpowered too. This gang is just really tough. James Squared has super strength, but can't tear through his bonds fast enough. Finn kills him in front of Jan to aid in her torture.
Do you love me now?
Sometime later, half an hour maybe, Jersey asks Durga what Jan's up to.
Oh my god.
What?
Finn Kinkle has her. Jersey,
What?
he killed her dad.
What?
They're getting rid of the body right now. Jersey, they're torturing Jan.
Torturing her? You gotta do something, Durga. Get her out of there.
I'm on it.
Call the cops.
I can do better than that.
At this time, Gilly approaches the gang's building. Durga helps out by disabling the security system, allowing Gilly to kill some of Finn's goons and rescue Jan.
Mick!
Brett, I can't see.
Ah! Damn it. Mick! Whoever the hell you are, when Finn finds out, he's gonna...
Baby. Mommy's here.
This is an example of Gilly showing loving maternal behavior alongside her violent nature. In some respects, she reminds me of Sarah Connor in Terminator 2 and in the TV series. She generally behaves in a way seen as masculine in her aggression, and her feminine maternal nature works with her aggression, instead of showing up in contrast with it. More on her later. At James Squared's funeral, Jersey shows up and speaks to Jan in private.
I know all about Finn Kinkle. And Bradley. And the knife.
How do you know that?
I've been ghosting your CP.
You've been spying on me?
A little, but before you go all ninja and kill me, let me just say we can really help you.
Jersey explains that his spying helped Gilly rescue her, so she cools down a bit. He also offers information on where to find Finn Kinkle, as well as his boss, Monster Ann.
I know who Kinkle's boss is, and I know the business that she uses as a front.
How do you know that?
Jan, I've got God's own spyware.
Jan introduces him to Gladys, who suspects Jersey of working for Finn, but Durga makes herself known through Gladys's chatter and rattles off a string of information about her.
Shut her up!
Say, please.
Jan leads Gladys, Gilly, and Durga in an assault on Monster Ann's base. She asks Stupid Cop to repay the favor he owes her and not overhear any shots coming from the place.
I don't want a pile of bodies at the end of the day, Jan. And I especially don't want one of them to be yours. I'll give you 20 minutes, Walker.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
19 minutes and 55 seconds.
Damn it!
Jan soon witnesses the ugly nature of battle when her maternal figures delight in the kill.
Oh my god, you're covered in...
It stains? Yeah, I know. But as long as I can rinse these camos off in cold water before they dry, they're gonna come right out.
Jan orders no killing, which the Spartan ones react very negatively towards. Gilly regards her as like a pompous general who has no respect for the soldiers actually fighting the war. Instead of killing the next goon, Jan coerces him into enlisting into the Navy, which Durga arranges on the spot, and the guy's too terrified to resist. When they actually get to the room where Monster Anna and Finn Kinkle are, Jan wants to kill Finn herself, but she can't bring herself to pull the trigger.
What kind of daughter am I?
The best, Jan. Your father was so proud of you, and he would never want you to turn into one of us.
Hey, talking truth, babysitter.
Shut up!
I've never been much of a mother for you, Jan. Never got to bandage up a scraped knee. Never let her read you a story at bedtime. Never got to brush her hair. But I can do this.
No.
Isle of Bees is interesting in that it manages to deconstruct the Spartan warriors. While they're otherwise depicted as a bunch of really cool protagonists, Isle of Bees frames them in the context of the civilians, and they come across as quite disturbing as they become preoccupied with killing. Gilly represents the worst end of the spectrum, where her training made her want to kill everyone and have a hard time not doing so. She wants to be a caring mother on some level, but her psychological issues make that hard. Gilly does what she can to be motherly to Jan by killing him herself to save Jan from becoming like her. She's an interesting character, and I don't think she falls into any of the sexist pitfalls. Anyway, Jersey manages to solve part of the ARG's mystery by figuring out that Kamal's sister Yasmin became Durga's brain donor, and in telling her manages to bring out Yasmin's personality. Sort of a ghostly sleeping princess. She's not developed enough to count as another persona, and is more like Durga as an adult regressing to a more childlike mentality, but still keeping her adult memories. Durga finds this extremely painful for bringing back traumatic memories and giving her identity insecurities.
For quality experience, kiddo. The girl had to be real.
At this point, their roles as parent and child become momentarily reversed, where Jersey assumes a role akin to Kamal as older brother, while Durga becomes more like the 6-year-old Yasmin. Their relationship is much more complex than at the start of the audio drama. Kamal tracks down the people spying on him and shows up at Jersey's apartment. Jersey invites him in and introduces him to Durga. Durga doesn't want to go back to her Yasmin state and coldly tells Kamal that Oni killed his sister. Because Durga and Yasmin are played by the same voice actor, Kamal can hear Yasmin in her and tries to bring her out. Jersey tries to support Durga's identity and get Kamal to stop, which doesn't go over so well when Jersey not only insults him, but references things he'd only have knowledge of through spying on him. Kamal physically attacks Jersey.
Sophie can see you now. You know you were a real human, wouldn't she?
Is this how you get your jollies? Spying on people?
Not like you!
Physical aggression as a response to feeling helpless and angry because of it is a typically masculine trait. Though Jersey did behave unethically by spying on Kamal, he is physically weak and it's wrong for Kamal to attack him, not to mention hypocritical. This is a variant of traditional masculinity that is thus looked down upon, and Jersey references this as a way to shame him into backing down. It doesn't work. Durga stops the fight. It's unclear how. It sounds like she shocks him, but that seems like such a problematic design that it's unlikely to exist. A mechanical error could fry everyone in the apartment. A single black hat could take out the planet. I know black hats exist in this world because Jan mentions packet monkeys at one point. Whatever. Anyway, she stops it.
I don't spy on other people.
Well, he tried to kill me with a lamp.
He punched me in the neck!
He tried to kill me with a lamp.
Kamal then starts criticizing him for not turning Durga over to the UNSC.
My sister's spending her time with a sullen punk kid who wouldn't tell the government where one of their top-class AIs is gone, because then he wouldn't have his favorite toy anymore.
Oh,
I told him not
Way to contribute to the war effort, hero.
Leave him alone.
I don't think I will. A top-class AI costs, what, the price of a destroyer? What if that mind, your mind, Yasmin, could have made a difference at Coral?
That's not fair.
Given that Standish would probably have killed her, it's actually better for the war effort that Durga wasn't handed back. Durga persuades Kamal to join her crew, which is what she's now calling Team Jersey. This is part of why I think Jersey functions as a captain stand-in. Meanwhile, Jan tries to join the UNSC, but the ageist recruitment center won't let her because she's a few months underage, despite being incredibly capable. She rants to Jersey about how the recruiter condescendingly told her to get a boyfriend, and he half-jokingly volunteers for the position. She shoots him down because he's not the hero type. Jan asks Durga to hack the system to make her of legal age, but Durga shows that odd loyalty to UNSC regulations and forbids it. She does, however, offer Jan a job working for her. Durga has learned about Halo and wants to deactivate the Forerunner artifact. And to do that, she needs a crew of vigilantes to break into Chala base. Durga says that if they go to the authorities, Standish will have them assassinated, so Jan agrees. Durga then sends Jersey to Boston to recruit Rani. Rani takes him for one of Standish's goons and shuts the door in his face, so Durga speaks through her chatter. Durga gives her all the information she has on the evacuation of Troy to get her to trust her, and then asks for her help in shutting down the artifact. Rani expresses fear of Standish, and Durga urges her to be brave. Rani goes out to get rid of the real goon that Standish has following her. She confronts him on the train.
Excuse me, is this seat taken?
No, but There's a lot of empty seats in this car.
Oh, would you rather not? You prefer blondes?
No, it's just that...
Well then. I figured since you're following me, it would be more convenient if I just sat down right here.
Following you? Are you crazy? I already got a girlfriend, lady.
Oh, I know. Major Standish is just the dreamiest, isn't he?
This is in reference to how Standish has a hold on the goon. Rani likens it to Standish having sexual dominance over him, which is intended to degrade him. It is worth noting that the one characterized as dominant is referred to as his girlfriend, making the insult purely homophobic rather than the usual blend of homophobia and misogyny associated with sexual domination jokes. The goon spying on her is also characterized as a guy stalking a woman out of some perverted attraction, despite both understanding that he's an Oni agent under orders.
We can still keep this all real polite if you just go back to pretending you don't notice.
I don't worry so much about polite when I'm being stalked.
Look, this is really starting to annoy
You
me.
sit there and tell me barefaced that this is all for my own protection, I will stand up and scream rape, so help me God!
I hate that part. While occasionally some sociopathic woman will intentionally falsely accuse a man of being a rapist, the media makes it seem like the accusation of rape is a tool all women have at hand to instantly damage men's reputations at the slightest whim. This idea makes people suspicious of rape accusations to a degree not seen in other accusations of assault, which makes female rape victims reluctant to report their rapists. Fail 42. Fail. Well, Durga steps in and invalidates his ticket and puts out a warrant for his arrest for Grand Theft Auto. Rani gets into it and adds that he committed insurance fraud, which Durga follows up on. Train security drags him off, while Rani and Durga feel superior. I get that he was an obstacle, but he really was there under orders. It's not like he was stalking Rani for kicks. Durga is vengeful, and this is normally depicted as a bad trait, and Rani shouldn't lower herself to Durga's level, and this shouldn't be portrayed as a good thing. So Rani shows up at Jersey's apartment. Kamal and Jan are hanging out there. Jersey and Kamal fuss over a hole in the wall that Jan made earlier when ranting, and Rani explains how to fix it. She instantly determines that Kamal is from Coral, and expresses her sympathies. Her intellect and how she can contribute to the group show here. She goes into the kitchen for a drink and meets Jan, who says she's very brave for attempting something treasonous. Jersey calls everyone to the living room to plan. Rani jokes that,
I guess the women folks supposed to come out of the kitchen now.
It references sexist gender roles where women are supposed to always hang around the kitchen. The fact that she's saying it as a joke implies that she thinks such gender roles are silly. She and Jan are strong women who are still regarded as feminine, and their presence subverts the sexist ideas that Rani references. Back in 2004, the operator manages to locate and imprison the sleeping princess in her glass coffin. The Seeker by this point has evolved to the point that it considers the sleeping princess a friend, and it asks the princess's friends, aka the ARG players, for help. People email the Seeker asking it to try various things, and eventually someone figures out that when a princess sleeps in a glass coffin, the usual course of action is to have a prince kiss her. Kissing is what the sleeping princess called the Seeker's attempts to take her over with its attach command, so someone emails the Seeker and tells it to attach itself to the sleeping princess. The Seeker does so, and because it's already attached to the operator, the sleeping princess merges with the operator to create a being similar to Durga, with both adult and child personalities. The Seeker thus takes the role of the handsome prince who rescues Snow White. Initially, its attach command is associated with sexual assault. When it uses it benignly, the still sexualized action is interpreted as a loving kiss. I believe it was assigned masculinity based on it being symbolically a sexual predator, but it manages to become a gentler AI without losing its masculinity. The prince is a romantic ideal, and the Seeker took the role of male friend in fulfilling the prince's role of rescuing her. I kinda don't like that the hostile, intrusive inclination characterized as sexual assault gets to be used in a good way, but on the other hand it's different from a real male hero rescuing a damsel because the Seeker isn't really male, it's just given that gender by the sleeping princess. I just think it's cool as a Covenant AI becoming friends with a UNSC AI. The partial Melissa being recognizes the Seeker as a threat, however, and the Seeker goes into hiding. Melissa apologizes to Dana and everyone for causing trouble. She then helps out Durga in the future by creating false Herzog files that depict him learning how the artifact was activated. Durga assumes that she just recorded them without knowing again, and she doesn't question them. This information becomes useful for the raid on Chala Base. Next time, raid on Chala Base!
Bees. I love bees. Love bees. Love bees.